Hey folks, it's Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland, and these are some Survivor Series based shows I'm going to be doing over the course of today and probably till next week on my days off. Um, Anybody that has followed my channel for a while knows that I covered the entire Survivor Series events all the way to last year's in my Survivor Series history, and also did reviews of Survivor Series 2014 that I have and 2015 that are on my YouTube playlists. But this is going to be me talking about my top 10 worst Survivor Series elimination matches. I'm not going to list every single person that was part of these matches, as that will just take forever. But these are basically ones that if you want to watch, avoid. And I will give my thoughts on them as best I remember. Survivor Series has had a lot of good events. And I'm not going to include so many from the very early days, as really the first four events were built around strictly elimination matches, which was fine, but some of those matches did drag on, and some of them were just putting people out there, just say, hey, you're on the card, go out and do this. Some people were feuding, some weren't. Sometimes it was just so people could get a pay-per-view payoff. But here's my top 10 worst Survivor Series elimination matches. Number 10, what I like to call the clusterfuck. We have nothing for these mid-carders, and we need a comeback. So here's this match. From 1996, it was when Vader, Farouk, the fake Diesel, and fake Razor were on a team, and they had Jimmy Snuka come back, Yokozuna, Flash Funk, and I forget the other guy that was on there, but it was a mess of a match from 1996. It was the last televised match in WWF for Yokozuna, as he would be released from his contract soon after because he wanted to get so freakishly large that he wouldn't be able to fit in the ring. It was just a messy match, and with the DQ, and it was just bad. It was just really, really awful. And 1996 actually had some pretty good stuff. This just wasn't one of them. Number 9, Team DX versus Team Rated RKO. Admittedly, this one wasn't horrible. It was entertaining, but watching an entire team just lose and lose pretty convincingly without ever really getting in any offense, it makes the match really not that good. I mean, it was entertaining, don't get me wrong. You had a moment when Shawn Michaels slid out in a baseball slide and was hugging Melina. Melina thought it was Nitro, so she started to touch him, and then they both freak out and scream. That was a funny part. But the match itself, DX pitches a shutout. Team Raid RKO gets wiped out. I mean, Mike Knox, poor Mike Knox, first having to be saddled with Kelly, and then getting eliminated in, I believe, his first pay-per-view match. He just gets absolutely destroyed, super kicked by Michaels, and he's the first one gone. But yeah, outside of a couple entertaining spots, really, there wasn't much. And it was kind of funny seeing Triple H put over CM Punk in a promo here, asking Philly, are you ready? And then the heat that they end up having a number of years later. So I always found it funny to look back on that. But still, not a great match. So Team DX versus Team Raid RKO is number 9, worst. Number 8, Team Cena versus Team Show at Survivor Series 2006. Let's be honest, Survivor Series 2006, while entertaining at times, was a little shit. And this didn't help either because Cena and Big Show had been feuding a bunch anyway. And this was really just mainly to get guys like Lashley over because Lashley was on ECW. And they had some other ECW guys like Sabu and everything. And that didn't really work. And Lashley was never going to be the guy they need him to be. And it just wasn't any good. I mean, it was a really limp match. It was like 13 minutes of ring action, and maybe not even that much. And the eliminations came too fast to really mean anything. Number 7, 4 Doinks versus Bam Bam Bigelow, Bash and Booker, and the Head Shrinkers. It was Mo Doink, Mabel Doink. It was from 1993. It was shit. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, two black guys in clown makeup didn't necessarily bother me, but it was such a bad use of them. It was so horrible. Number 6, Team Angle versus Team Lesnar in 2003. Despite the talent involved here, and they had guys like Nathan Jones and Matt Morgan who were young to the business, or at least young to WWE. This is when they were trying to rebuild and re-push Nathan Jones. That didn't work since he left the company about 2 months later. And they had it where they were still going with a feud with Angle and Lesnar, despite the fact they had the blow off of a tremendous Iron Man match on SmackDown just a couple months before. This certainly wasn't a bad match, but it was a way to get Cena over since Cena had just started to turn face. They still were kind of a bit of a tweener here, but this is a way for him to get over. And Angle got eliminated awfully early. I remember that much. It wasn't horrible. Don't get me wrong. It did show Cena impressively picking up Big Show, where he would do that on a grander stage at WrestleMania 20. But the match itself was just not good. It was just really. I mean, it had a couple good moments, but was not a very good elimination match. Everything happened way too soon. And this was also when they had Hardcore Holly come back from his neck injury, legit neck injury, and was trying to take out Lesnar, and that feud did not work at all, only because Hardcore Holly had been pushed so badly and used so badly that it just wasn't going to work trying to put him in the main event. As tough as the guy was and as good as the guy is in the ring, the bloom was off the rose already, and him being in the main event wasn't going to work. Number 5, Bertha Faye and some various Japanese wrestlers versus Alundra Blaze and some various Japanese wrestlers. I forgot the names. I apologize. I'm sure that there were some that were very good. This match is just, it was like a bad piece of gum where the flavor was gone within like a couple minutes. It was a really, really short match. It was like just under or barely over 10 minutes. Eliminations came way too fast. And Bertha Faye, who was used better in Japan, her and Alundra Blaze barely had any good matches in WWE, and it just wasn't a good use of the women. It just wasn't. If they had given them about 15 minutes, it would have been something. But the problem is the vast majority of fans, especially WWE fans, had no idea who these Japanese wrestlers were outside of a couple. It didn't work. Number 4, the Truth Commission versus DOA. The Truth Commission was terrible. Don Callis was a good mouthpiece, that's it. And DOA with the Racist Harris brothers and a couple other guys. It was just not any good. It was during the whole Attitude Era where everybody had to have a gimmick, and some of the gimmicks just weren't that good. These were 2 of the worst. That's why it's here on the list from Survivor Series 97. And number 3, Total Divas versus True Divas, because Eva Marie was in the damn match way before she should. Well, she never should be in the ring again. She can't wrestle for shit. But this is from the 2013 Survivor Series, often cited as one of the worst editions, in particular because of a match that I will get to on a future show. Total Divas was just getting started at this point. Admittedly, I used to watch that show till last year because I found it entertaining at times, and I did like a couple of the cast members, and I still like Natty. I'm a huge fan of hers. She deserves better than what she's getting now. But this was just bad. It was just bad because they were still calling them divas. I mean, they weren't pushing the whole thing with them being wrestlers, even though half of them weren't actually wrestlers, and Eva Marie never belonged in a wrestling ring. Still doesn't, and it was god-awful. Number 2, the Royal Family, King and a bunch of midgets versus Doink and a bunch of midgets, because midget wrestling is funny. No, it's not. This was shit for 1994. So, and then you had number 1, Big Show versus the Big Boss Man versus Albert versus Midian versus Viscera. It was a 1-on-4 elimination match. It lasted 86 seconds. 86 seconds. This is when Big Show was feuding with the Big Boss Man, right after Big Boss Man had dragged his Big Show's dad's coffin out of the ground and drug it behind a vehicle. So okay, I mean, that, I guess that was sort of entertaining, and Big Show signed off on, the family did, so whatever. But this is during the feud when Boss Man and Show were, having a really limp feud because the matches just weren't that good. Boss Man was not the worker that he was, and Big Show still needed to get established with the WWE audience. Again, 1-on-4, and it lasted 86 seconds. And no, you're thinking Big Show got overcome by the odds. No, he eliminated everybody. And then Boss Man walked out for the countout. It was god-awful, but there are some really good Survivor Series elimination matches that I will get to on a future show, and I have on the list here. What do you think of what I said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter links in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.